Which camera, that one or that one?
The one straight in front of me?
Okay, look at that one, okay.
Can you see my arms?
No.
Okay, because I don't know what to do with them.
Hang on, let me gather my thoughts a little bit.
How do you not overthink being in this chair?
And it was like in my head 100 times before I came here. I'm like, that's gonna work really well. And then I came here, I'm like, that.
My name is Josh Fingerhut. I'm 36 years old.
I'm Devin, I'm 24.
I grew up in the San Fernando Valley.
I grew up in Washington, D.C.
I'm from Albuquerque.
Westlake Village, it's a suburb.
So I moved from an all-white area to Crenshaw.
I moved back to New York when I was 18 years old.
I've lived in 5 states.
By the time I was in 9th grade, I'd been to 14 schools.
The streets were where it was happening. It wasn't at home.
I was obsessed with Legos. Then I was obsessed with ditching school. Then I was obsessed with the alcohol.
Honestly, from the beginning, I wanted to do the worst thing that I could, which was heroin.
I couldn't go more than 2 hours without a drink or my hands would start shaking.
I started doing meth every day.
And I would invite homeless people into my car just to have someone to talk to.
I went to college, had a few jobs, I became a teacher, and then I became a heroin addict.
January 28th, I missed my vein shooting meth and ketamine, and the cellulitis turned into a flesh-eating bacteria called necrotizing fasciitis, and that was spreading to my heart to kill me.
They told family to come in and see me. They were worried I wouldn't make it through the night.
And the next thing I knew, the police were kicking down my door, waiting to arrest me.
There's got to be something better than this. There's just got to be something better than this.
So I'll never forget that moment, like when I decided to make the change.
I needed something long-term, and I knew that my insurance wouldn't cover it.
So I went and I had my first interview at Beit Teshuva.
My mom told me about a place called Beit Teshuva.
2 days later, I moved in, and my life was changed for the better, forever.
I didn't know anything about it.
So I didn't know the Torah from a flying carpet.
I don't even think I ever met a Jewish person, honestly.
They walked me through the front doors.
People are just like, hi, connect with me.
And I was really confused because in the Mormon church, we do not do that. We do not curse from the podium, and we don't clap, and we don't get loud, and we don't get noisy, and we don't yell, hold on.
Wow. You know what I mean? It's like, wow. That's all I could really say at first.
It just felt like I came to a home.
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 I feel like home.
I feel more at home going into Beit Teshuva than sometimes my own parents' house.
There was an energy of love and acceptance.
And I don't know what about that moment made me feel like I was in the right place, but it did enough inside to make me stay, to make me look at my mom and dad and say, I'm gonna be okay. You can leave me here.
I don't have children in treatment here, but there is something special about Bet Teshuva.
Man, the people of Beit Teshuva,
They're completely different.
It's like an urban kibbutz.
Beit Teshuva has a plethora of characters.
it's like Skittles. You got the whole color of the rainbow.
Whether your family had money or not.
It's not just Jewish, not just black or white, it's people.
What are they like? They're fucking nutcases, just like me.
They don't just treat you for 6 months and then say goodbye. You are their child for life.
When I got sober, the world opened up to me and the possibilities became endless.
Things drastically got better for me. I ended up going to school.
I want to go pursue a master's.
I get to write stories, and that's what I love to do.
I know that there's so many possibilities for me.
I met my wife at Beit Teshuva.
And I still to this day do not know what I found appealing about that boy, but he is my now husband, 14 years together. and 3 sons later.
And I just remember my keychain not being non-existent, and then I have my key to my car. And then I have a key to an apartment. And then I have a key to a business that somebody else, is entrusting me to run. I have a key now to my own business. I owe my life to Beit Tshuva.
I can say with absolute certainty, I would not be where I am today, I would not be who I am today without Beit Tshuva.
I really like who I am today. Flaws and all.
I'm not a great board member. I love to work with the residents. That's where I get my jollies and my kicks. So I was with a couple residents just the other day that I have a nice relationship with. I said to them, you guys are glowing. And one of the gentlemen said, I'm happy. I've never felt happy before in my life. I never knew what happiness felt like.
This is a community of misfits.
A family.
Of lovers.
Of actors.
Of singers.
And fighters.
We come from the valley.
From Calabasas.
From Crenshaw.
Or even from Albuquerque.
We've seen darkness.
Prison.
We've seen hell. The show.
We've seen some serious shit.
And we almost gave up.
But we stood up.
We do the work.
And we hold on.
No matter what.
From gang members.
To board members.
From hustlers.
To spiritual warriors.
We are passion.
We are purpose.
And this.
This.
Is Beit Tshuva.
Is Beit Tshuva.
And we.
And we are one.
Cool.
All right.
Which camera? That one or that one?
The one straight in front of me?
Okay, look at that one. Okay.
Can you see my arms?
No.
Okay, because I don't know what to do with them.
Hang on, let me gather my thoughts a little bit.
How do you not overthink being in this chair?
And it was like in my head 100 times before I came here. I'm like, that's gonna work really well. And then I came here. I'm like, that.
My name is Josh Fingerhut. I'm 36 years old.
I'm Devin, I'm 24.
I grew up in the San Fernando Valley.
I grew up in Washington, D.C.
I'm from Albuquerque.
Westlake Village, it's a suburb.
So I moved from an all-white area to Crenshaw.
I moved back to New York when I was 18 years old.
I've lived in 5 states.
By the time I was in 9th grade, I'd been to 14 schools.
The streets were where it was happening. It wasn't at home.
I was obsessed with Legos. Then I was obsessed with ditching school. Then I was obsessed with the alcohol.
Honestly, from the beginning, I wanted to do the worst thing that I could, which was heroin.
I couldn't go more than 2 hours without a drink or my hands would start shaking.
I started doing meth every day.
And I would invite homeless people into my car just to have someone to talk to.
I went to college, had a few jobs, I became a teacher, and then I became a heroin addict.
January 28th, I missed my vein shooting meth and ketamine, and the cellulitis turned into a flesh-eating bacteria called necrotizing fasciitis, and that was spreading to my heart to kill me.
They told family to come in and see me. They were worried I wouldn't make it through the night.
And the next thing I knew, the police were kicking down my door, waiting to arrest me.
There's got to be something better than this. There's just got to be something better than this.
So I'll never forget that moment, like when I decided to make the change.
I needed something long-term, and I knew that my insurance wouldn't cover it.
So I went and I had my first interview at Beit Teshuva.
My mom told me about a place called Beit Teshuva.
2 days later, I moved in, and my life was changed for the better, forever.
I didn't know anything about it.
So I didn't know the Torah from a flying carpet.
I don't even think I ever met a Jewish person, honestly.
They walked me through the front doors.
People are just like, hi, connect with me.
And I was really confused because in the Mormon church, we do not do that. We do not curse from the podium, and we don't clap, and we don't get loud, and we don't get noisy, and we don't yell, hold on.
Wow. You know what I mean? It's like, wow. That's all I could really say at first.
It just felt like I came to a home.
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 I feel like home.
I feel more at home going into Beit Teshuva than sometimes my own parents' house.
There was an energy of love and acceptance.
And I don't know what about that moment made me feel like I was in the right place, but it did enough inside to make me stay, to make me look at my mom and dad and say, I'm gonna be okay. You can leave me here.
I don't have children in treatment here, but there is something special about Bet Teshuva.
Man, the people of Beit Teshuva,
They're completely different.
It's like an urban kibbutz.
Beit Teshuva has a plethora of characters.
it's like Skittles. You got the whole color of the rainbow.
Whether your family had money or not.
It's not just Jewish, not just black or white, it's people.
What are they like? They're fucking nutcases, just like me.
They don't just treat you for 6 months and then say goodbye. You are their child for life.
When I got sober, the world opened up to me and the possibilities became endless.
Things drastically got better for me. I ended up going to school.
I want to go pursue a master's.
I get to write stories, and that's what I love to do.
I know that there's so many possibilities for me.
I met my wife at Beit Teshuva.
And I still to this day do not know what I found appealing about that boy, but he is my now husband, 14 years together and 3 sons later.
And I just remember my keychain not being non-existent, and then I have my key to my car. And then I have a key to an apartment. And then I have a key to a business that somebody else, is entrusting me to run. I have a key now to my own business. I owe my life to Beit Teshuva.
I can say with absolute certainty, I would not be where I am today, I would not be who I am today without Beit Teshuva.
I really like who I am today. Flaws and all.
I'm not a great board member. I love to work with the residents. That's where I get my jollies and my kicks. So I was with a couple residents just the other day that I have a nice relationship with. I said to them, you guys are glowing. And one of the gentlemen said, I'm happy. I've never felt happy before in my life. I never knew what happiness felt like.
This is a community of misfits.
A family.
Of lovers.
Of actors.
Of singers.
And fighters.
We come from the valley.
From Calabasas.
From Crenshaw.
Or even from Albuquerque.
We've seen darkness.
Prison.
We've seen hell. The show.
We've seen some serious shit.
And we almost gave up.
But we stood up.
We do the work.
And we hold on.
No matter what.
From gang members.
To board members.
From hustlers.
To spiritual warriors.
We are passion.
We are purpose.
And this
is Beit Teshuva.
Come on, count it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's good Shabbos time.
us. God is talking through us. God is walking through us every night and day. Shabbat shalom, welcome home. Come face to face with the God you know. You can turn around and shake your neighbor's hand. You can even hug them, they will understand. Coming face to face with the God you know. Coming face to face. Shabbat, Shabbat shalom. God is walking through us. God is talking through us. God is walking through us every night and day. Shabbat shalom, welcome home. Come face to face with the God you know.
With Nathan and a little assist from me, I guess, right? That's what happens when you study Rabbi Heschel. All right, now we're going to do Bim Bam, right? That's what it says on the order. It's not opening drosh.
Bim bam.
Bim Bam.
We're
Oh,
there.
are we on the same page? Oh, okay, good. All right. Bim Bam. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, bam, bam. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, bam, bam. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. Bim, 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 bam. Bim, bim, bam. Rabbi Heschel writes, the passage of being, a man or animal, is marked and fixed from birth to death. The passage of being human leads through a maze, the dark and intricate maze which we call the inner life of a man. That maze must not be conceived as a structure, as a permanent setup. It is an exuberance that goes on, frequently defying pattern, rule, and form. The inner life is a state of constantly increasing, indefinitely spreading complexity. Left to ourselves, we of necessity go astray. We are in need of guidance at every step. Is there a guide for the labyrinth of humanity? The necessity of guidance is a mode of being human. Animal life is a straight path. The inner life is a maze. And no one can find their way through or about without guidance. Such is the condition from which there is no escape. One thing that sets us apart from animals is a boundless, unpredictable capacity for the development of an inner universe. There is more potentiality in our soul than in any other being known to us. Look at the infant and try to imagine the multitude of events it's going to engender. One child, named Johann Sebastian Bach, was charged with power enough to hold generations of humans in his spell. Is there any potentiality to acclaim or any surprise to expect in a calf or a colt? Indeed, the enigma of human being is not in what we are, but what we're able to be. So, I mean, it's pretty simple. I don't even know why I would give any commentary on this, right? Everybody understands it. Easy peasy, right? So think about it. The inner life is a state of constantly increasing, indefinitely spreading complexity. The maze of our inner life is an exuberance that goes on, frequently defying pattern, rule, and form. Yet so many of us get stuck. We get stuck in many different ways, but one way is we have to do it according to the form. But you see, there is no form for our inner life. If it's a maze, each of us has to go through the maze our own self. And we're going to go astray, and we're going to go over here, and it's complex. Because events of our lives impact and affect our inner life. So what's going on in the world has an impact on my inner life. More importantly, or as important, I should say, what goes on with another human being has an impact on my inner life. We need guidance. And yet all of us are brought up with the idea that you're supposed to stand on your own 2 feet. Self-made, rugged individualism. But you see, that's not the way we were created. We were just in Chicago, Harriet and myself and Nicole. We have inaugurated a spiritual counseling certificate program for rabbis and educators, clergy and educators, I should say. And we were talking about the 2 Adams. Adam 1 in the first Genesis, in the first chapter of Genesis, who's created to have rule and dominion, mastery. Adam 1 finds his dignity in vanquishing disease, in all of the things, building buildings, doing all these great things. Adam 2, in the second chapter, is created for connection. And we have both of those parts in us, and neither one is good or bad. It's how we use them. In fact, how we integrate them. And we can't integrate our lives unless we have guidance. Guidance comes in the form of teachers, of spiritual guides. Guidance comes in the form of study, of prayer. Guidance comes in the form of God. So to have a rich inner life is so important. And we don't have to judge it, oh, it's a terrible inner life, or oh, my inner life is chaotic. Of course it's chaotic, we're human. It's a maze. Listen to this, it's so great. A dark and intricate maze we call the inner life of humans must not be conceived as a structure, as a permanent setup. Because as soon as we say this is the only way to set it up, we're lost, we're stuck. The beauty of being human is what we will be, what we are able to be. All of us have the power, the inner power. All of us are charged with power enough to hold generations of humans in our spell. Just like Bach, Mozart, Da Vinci. We hold them up as geniuses, and they were. And they were human. They were humans who allowed the power of their inner life to make things that were far beyond what they thought possible. That's the challenge. That's the joy. That's the promise that all of us get to partake in if we're willing to have the guidance, seek the guidance and the care to grow our inner lives into this intricate, complex system that'll push us forward, that makes Harriet Rosetto create and continue and sustain Beit Tshuva, and makes all of us, makes recovery possible, enjoyable, and within our reach. Shabbat Shalom. We continue with a niggin. A niggin is a wordless melody. Blow out the schmutz of the week and breathe in the joy of Shabbat. Feeling good? Let's do it. Let's do it. Shalom Aleichem. Okay, so a couple of things. First of all, I want to welcome everybody who's on our live stream. We hope the sound is right. We think we got it right this week, right? Am I right, Max? Okay. The other thing is that I don't... I meant to do this last week and the week before, but I figure I better do it now, even though it's not Tshuva time. We have amazing people at our soundboards. I mean, they don't get enough credit. Eldon is on the board. Max is doing the live stream. Zach is doing the live stream too. What are you doing? Oh, you're doing live stream sound. Zach is doing the live. What did he say?
He said I'm Steven Spielberg.
You see what happens? You give this kid a little bit, right? He just can't, never satisfied. What can I tell you? And Devin, you're doing the screens, right? Okay. So they do a great job. All right, Stephen, how come we're not a best-selling movie yet? That's my question. I mean, if you were really Steven Spielberg. Anyway, let's do Shiru Ladon Noi. Sing a song.
La 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 la
pleasantly surprised. Because we're anything but regular. Ain't that true, Nathan?
This is regular for us, Rabbi.
Oh, okay. All right. So now's the time when we do tzedakah. Rabbi Yitzhak Buxbaum says in his book, Jewish Spiritual Practices, that the two important mitzvot that you have to do prior to Shabbos is tzedakah and tshuva. So we pass the boxes. We're passing the boxes. Sisterhood. Sisterhood. Okay, so the sisterhood is passing the boxes. Tzedakah means righteousness. What we do is we make sure that we ask you to make sure that you know you have a seat at the table. Yes, tzedakah helps other people. There's no doubt about it. And it helps us. It helps each and every person because we remember that we have enough. Isn't it a wonderful thing to know that I can do something? I can give something because I got enough. It is the Jewish antidote to less than. And one of the great spiritual and emotional maladies of our time is less than. So tzedakah helps us remember that we're not. That we have enough, life is good, and we can celebrate. We're very grateful. The money goes to help the residents learn how to have fun in sobriety and offset some of the costs of this evening, dinner, valet, all that stuff. And goes to our bottom line, tell you the truth, when you have to raise $5 million a year to stay open, you need all the help you can get. What can I tell you? The next thing is tshuva that we do. So on this trip to Chicago, we learned a piece from Likutei Moharan, Reb Nachman of Bretzlov. And he's talking about encouragement. Do we have to live a life of encouragement or strength? Do not despair when we see all the blemishes and harms our actions have caused. Listen to this carefully. Do not despair when we see all the blemishes and harms that our actions have caused. If it is possible for us to destroy, it is possible for us to repair. Tshuva says that repair is always within our reach. None of us are so far gone that we can't do tshuva. As you can see on the screen, Rabbi Heschel says it's the most unnoticed of all miracles. He goes on to say that tshuva is done in truth, in remorse, and responsibility. So we do tshuva out loud. Because part of tshuva is also gratitude. Because the truth is, we're able to be grateful. And that's not, it's not a normal practice for most people. Unfortunately. Most people look at where they are and what they don't have. Tshuva says, look at where you are and be grateful. Even if you've done something wrong, you have the power and the possibility of change and repair, and that gives you hope, and what can be better than hope? We've survived all of the myriad of destructions because of our hope. Those of us in recovery are here because of hope. So we do tshuva out loud, and I'm going to ask Jeremy to pass the microphone. What, did you know that? Is that, you knew I was going to call on you?
No.
Oh, okay. So anybody that's got tshuva, raise your hand. Damn, not too many people.
Come on, don't be scared. Tshuva's fun.
Oh, Harmon, not again.
Sorry.
Man, you're the tshuva chazer.
Every time, I know. I'm sorry.
How can I tell you?
I'm grateful. What can I say? My name is Harmon. I'm a grateful member of this community. I'll keep it short. Don't worry. I want to thank my boy Vic right here. It's going to be his last service before he heads out. I remember, let's give it up for him. I remember walking down the hallway and just hearing the music in the hallways. And there's a lot of musicians in this place. And when you go through challenging times, to have somebody there for support, it's just incredible to jam. And I'm really grateful for you. And also, I want to give a shout out to Allison, who came back for her birthday tonight. She's really incredible. Give it up for Allison, if anybody knows. My first week here, I came in with her, and I remember the challenges that we both went through. Like, she didn't want to stay. She was going to leave time and time again, and myself, like, we were both, I mean, the first few weeks are really challenging, and to have people rally around you, like, I'm really grateful. I also want to thank Greg Sutton, Harriet, and Rabbi. This week, I got to speak at a virtual medicine conference at Cedars, and I was going to speak and not mention anything about my sobriety. Like, you know, still in early recovery, there's a lot of shame around that. And going into the outside world, like here it's okay, but when I go to the outside, I really don't like to talk about it. But Harriet reminded me, she said, Harmon, when you're in service to God, you don't have to worry about yourself. Just be of service. So I went to Cedars, spoke at this conference, talked about my recovery, and because I did, the president and vice president of a company said, yeah, my mom's in recovery. The vice president said, I've been in recovery for 13 years. We know Rabbi Mark, and they actually were sitting down next week to talk about a position at their company. So I'm really grateful. And Harriet even recommended that I sing my song. And this is like the last thing I would have ever tried to do. But like here, they've allowed me to be myself and find my true purpose and passion. I'm really grateful for you guys. Thank you, Harriet. Thanks, Rabbi.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I'm Joe, very grateful member and a grateful resident of this community. I move out on Thursday, so this is long, long overdue, but I just wanted to express my immense gratitude to this place. Harriet, Rabbi, the donors. Words can't even explain the gratitude that I have in my heart for this place, so I just wanted to say thank you.
That's right. Good job, Joe.
Hi, I'm Jeff, a grateful member of this community. Happy birthday. I just want to say happy birthday to Leah and Allison. I went through the house with you guys. Leah, you're a kick-ass PF, and I'm happy you share the office with me. Allison, you're awesome as well, but my gratitude tonight is going to be for you, Rabbi. My sponsors challenged me to look at myself for 100 days and find someone or something I'm grateful for every day and talk about it or post about it. And I always hear people say their gratitude to you during their speeches for a year, like their cakes, but I've never heard someone really just say it straight up to you. But what you've done for my life has been astronomically changing. First time I introduced myself to you, you said okay and stared at your screen, and you said, "Is that it?" And I said, "Sure," and I walked out. But I got to play golf with you that year, and we've played almost every week for a while, and I'm really grateful to have you out there with us. You're funny. And when I hit a bad shot, it's not to make you feel better, just so you know. All right? But thank you, Rabbi. I appreciate it.
Hi, I'm Erin. I'm a grateful member of this community. I'm an Asian Jew, and I didn't think that I would find two other Asians here, but I have, and I'm eternally grateful for that. Oh, three. And Victor, best of luck to you, buddy. I'm grateful for so many things. It says on here, discover your passion, find your purpose. I'll get that. My three passions are running, cooking, and music. And I have that ability to do that here. And so, Laura and Glenn, thank you so much for inviting me with open arms into the music department. Rod, thank you so much for including me in the kitchen and letting me take care of the salad bar. It is a true joy every day to do that. And to Jillian, wherever you are, thank you so much for letting me be part of the marathon team. Belonging, it is something that I've never been able to do. As an addict, I'm always trying to fit in. And here I have such a huge sense of belonging. And for that, I am eternally grateful. So thank you.
There's too much gratitude over there. I got to find some over here.
Hi, my name is Rose. I'm a grateful member here and a donor.
Hi, Rose.
And if no one gives money, give money, because this place is amazing. I got sober almost 44 years ago. I started drinking and using drugs when I was 5. When I got sober, there was one place in Southern California, and very, very few alcoholics and drug addicts. This place is really a blessing from God. I'm grateful today that it was my mother's birthday this week. She's in heaven, and that she never gave up on me. She just never gave up on me. I was living in Israel, horrible, a mess. I always had to take drugs and alcohol to make me feel and fill that void inside of me, because I never had a peace within myself. Now I can stay by myself, be cool, everything's good, because God gave me that peace. I remember coming here 15, 20 years ago with Harriet and the rabbi, and I thought, oh my God, this place is so amazing. It's just amazing. And I'm grateful today that I have 4 friends here to hear about the program. And I'm grateful for the rabbi for all his hard work and prayers for people and effort. This is not an easy deal. And Harriet for the love and understanding to the rabbi and to all of us. I want to thank God for blessing me. Happy birthday to all the birthday people. And may this continue many, many years. Amen.
Hi, I'm Ethan, grateful member of this community. I just wanted to say thank you to all the marathon runners who did an amazing job last weekend. It was a blast at mile 19. Big shout out to Zach, who, wherever he went, who did an amazing job emceeing the block party. It was a blast being out there supporting all of our runners and raising money for the community, which is amazing. I'm so grateful to be here. That's it.
And I'm Jeremy. I'm a grateful member of this community. I'm really grateful for all you guys, co-workers, everyone included. 2 kids. It has been a journey. It has been a blessing, but the best thing about it is I get to honor like what I'm going through, and I've learned that to do that in these walls. You know, there's the good, the bad, and the ugly, and I'm allowed to talk about all of it and not feel like I'm the only one who goes through these things. Just like recovery teaches you to find the people that have the lived experiences. My gratitude to all you parents who are helping me through this time of parenting with 2.
2. All right. And I'm grateful. So I got to tell you, I'm grateful for the band, of course, you know, and Greg and Glenn and Luca and Laura. This is Luca's second last week. Luca is getting to go on a dream, realize a dream. He's going to be going to Nashville, Tennessee, to produce and make music. If you really want to know about music, you got to go to the Grand Ole Opry. I'm telling you, that's music.
You ever go to the Opry? Isn't that great? So I'm grateful to all of you for everything you do, and of course to Nate, our cantorial soloist, I'm supposed to say. People get pissed off when I give degrees and positions without people learning it, but can you imagine me being concerned about somebody being pissed off? I'm really grateful to Nicole also. I have to tell you, Nicole set up this all the logistics and everything for our spiritual counseling certificate program. When I told her we were doing it, she thought I was crazy, and I said, "Well, of course I'm crazy. Let's do it." And she really just made it happen. Everything worked. Her energy is always great. And every participant, we had 14 people, and she was able to herd them along and keep me on track time-wise. Even kept Harriet on track time-wise. And that's no easy task. But her energy and her joy is really what makes it. And I'm so very, very grateful for her. And I'm grateful for all the people that showed up for it and what kind of a great time. We had Junk Films there. They were filming it for some promo that we're going to do about our institute. And I said to Richie Culture, I said, "Richie, let's do a spiritual counseling session, you and me, just to show them." And Richie just jumped in. And it was, I think it was certainly moments of holiness. Wouldn't you agree? And so I'm grateful. I'm grateful to the 14 participants who said, "Okay, let's do this." And that's my dream. It was my dream to do it. And because of Beit Shuvah, because of Nicole, because of also Rabbi Tova Leibovich Douglas, who took all of my ideas and made it into a curriculum. I mean, she really knew how to do it. She knows me. And following my chaotic maze, complex maze, let's put it that way, is not an easy task, is it, Harriet? So I'm really, really grateful for everybody. And Jillian, where's Jillian? Where's Jillian? Come here, Jillian. Jillian took over the marathon, what, 2 months ago? Month and a half. It was a little chaotic. And we weren't sure if we were going to get anywhere close to our goal. And Jillian said, "We can do this." And, well, I told you we could do it, and you said, "Okay." I think that's the way it went. And was anybody at mile 19 at the block party last Sunday? I mean, the amount of energy, the amount of joy, and how every runner finished. I mean, and you inspired it all. You inspired them to raise the money. And you inspired everybody to want to do it, and they did it as a group, and they were cohesive, and they did it really with love. And it's all because of you. So all of us are grateful to Jillian. And baby, I'm grateful to you. I'm grateful to you because I love your obsessiveness. I know. I said earlier this week that I didn't love your obsessiveness. And oops, I made a mistake. I don't love all of your obsessions, I will say that. Your obsessiveness in getting it right and doing the best for everybody, in seeing the humanity in everybody. Seeing that spark of God, seeing that Tselem, that image. being able to look at somebody and see their soul. You're obsessive about that. And that obsessiveness has saved my life and so many others. And for that, I'm eternally grateful. Shabbat Shalom. We continue, before we do Michamocha, we continue with our Kadima. So I need Ryder and Josh and Allison and Sarah and Hannah. Everybody here? Where's Ryder? Huh? Ryder's not here? Damn, okay. Save that for him, please. So, we're saying Kadima. We're not saying goodbye. We're saying hello again. All of you moved out. Some of you live a far way, and some of you live very close. And you've moved out and you've said, okay, we can move forward in our lives. And so this Kadima is a recognition of that. And it's a hello. It's a hello to a different person than came here than the person that came. That all of you are changed, mostly for the better. Mostly. And that's what's important to us. And we want to recognize it. And we want you to know that we recognize it. We want you to know that we believe in you, that we're grateful for you, and that we're always here for you. You know, Harriet says it best. If you don't come back to visit, you'll probably come back to live here. It's happened more than once. And our deal is that we see you. This certificate is our way of saying we see you. And we love you. And we want you. And that you belong. You belong to us. You belong with us. And for us, that's most important. And we believe it's important for you all too. So the certificate says that you have been and are in the process of moving forward with life and in recovery. And this certificate signifies the hard work that you've done fulfilling the words of the sages in the place where the Baal Tshuva stands. Even the most saintly can't stand, can't reach. Can you imagine? All those goody two-shoes, you know, and your families and your friends, you now have a higher place in God's world. Thank God life's not fair, right? So we bless you. We bless you with the priestly blessing. Where's Nathan? You going to sing this or no? You don't know it. I love you. I don't care I don't care what Glenn says. Yivarech Adonai v'yishmerecha, may God bless you and protect you, guard you always. Yo'eh Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha, may God's countenance always shine upon you and through you, and bring you the guidance and the grace that you so richly have earned. Yisad Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God's countenance, God's light, God's warmth, God's love help you to bring all your parts together. Help you to realize how whole as a human being you all are. And we all say, Amen. Okay, so you know, we got to give gifts, so we give books, right? We're Jews. Now, I know how much each one of you love going to Torah study every day. So someone wrote a book called Finding Recovery in Yourself in Torah. A daily spiritual path to wholeness. So even though you're not here every day for Torah study, you can have Torah study with me every day just by reading this book. I know that thrills you. Sarah, mazel tov. Allison, mazel tov. Thank you. Hannah, mazel tov. Thank you. And Josh, mazel tov, baby. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Now we're going to continue with Micha Mocha. Another original by Glenn.
Slavery to bravery, we followed Moses to the sea. When we got to the other side, we laughed and screamed and danced and cried. Micha mocha ba'elim Adonai. Micha mocha nedar b'kodesh. Nora tehilo no seif lelech. Took it on faith and we buried our pride. We didn't know if we lived or died. We kicked up the sand and we took a stand. We didn't know a thing about the promised land. No, we didn't know a thing about the promised land. Micha mocha ba'elim Adonai. Micha mocha nedar b'kodesh. Nora tehilo no seif lelech. Confusion set in with the setting sun. Some missed the Pharaoh and thought we were done. But poems were written like songs of the sea. For people like you and people like me. For people like you and people like me. Micha mocha ba'elim Adonai. Micha mocha nedar b'kodesh. Nora tehilo no seif lelech. Micha mocha ba'elim Adonai. Micha mocha nedar b'kodesh. Nora tehilo no seif lelech. Nora tehilo no seif
Bravo, bravo. Can we have the birthdays up here and our new members up here? Birthdays on my right.
everybody always turns me off. Tries to silence me. I mean, can you imagine that? Max, stop pushing that button all the time. I know it's you. So,
I bet that's never happened.
so we're about to welcome the bride of Shabbos. The sun is going down. It's the perfect time when everybody stands up and we dance the bride of Shabbos into Lichod Toidi. Okay, we need the birthdays to come and light the Shabbos candles, please.
Ortal just came into me and said, why don't we sing that song every week? It's a sick song. And it is really an amazing song. Thank you, guys. That's crazy good. So back in 1981, when I was serving a congregation in Grand Rapids, Michigan, I was asked to do one of those early morning religious moments. That was part of a television station's sign-on back in the day. So for you millennials in the crowd, there was a time not too long ago when television stations would actually go off the air during the night. And they would go through a sequence in the early morning, maybe 5:30, or 6 o'clock, and then they would sign back on. First there came a test pattern or a test tone, then the station's identification, the transmitter power, and so on. Then came like a montage of images or patriotic music and the flag flying around with the national anthem playing in the background. Then came the station ownership, other station information, a good morning of some kind, and then some kind of prayer or religious moment. So this was when the religious moment came that I was talking about. And I remember that one for some reason. The first one was in a simple studio on a small television station in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And I spoke about living in a world of noise. I remember I used the phrase, the din of the world. Maybe I was already too aware of the noise around me, or even the noise in my head. I remember that I also tied it to the passage in 1 Kings 19 that went, "And behold, Adonai passed by, and a great and strong wind rent the mountains and broke into pieces the rocks before Adonai. But Adonai was not in the wind. And after the wind, an earthquake, but Adonai was not in the earthquake. And after the earthquake, a fire, but Adonai was not in the fire. And after the fire," the Hebrew says, "a kol demama daka," a still, small voice. And it was so when Elijah heard it that he wrapped his face in his mantle and went out and stood in the entering in of the cave. And a voice came to him and said, "What are you doing here, Elijah?" I was reminded of this portion immediately when I read this week's Torah portion, Shemini. We've just finished inaugurating the Mishkan, and there's no doubt there's some great ceremony going on. We're making sacrifices, and the people are being blessed, and the kavod of Adonai shows up, God's glory, that is, and it's revealed to all of the people, and fire comes forth from before Adonai, it says, and it consumed everything on the altar. And the people saw it, and they praised God, and they fell on their faces. And then we're told that Aaron's sons, Nadav and Avihu, grabbed their own fire pan, and they placed it with incense on the pan and offered them before Adonai. But the Torah tells us that this was an Eish Zarah, a strange fire, which they were not commanded to put there. And then it says, another fire came from before Adonai. Rabbeinu Baku teaches us that two thin threads of fire came forth from the holy place, most likely from the Ark of the Covenant. And it says, it entered into their noses. Actually, two threads came out of the Holy of Holies, divided into 4 threads, and went into the nostrils of each of these guys. And it says the fire burned their bodies from the inside, but their clothing remained whole, and so their souls were burnt. There are many discussions about the why of what happened, or actually what did happen. Were they drunk? Did they offer the sacrifice at the wrong time? Did they not have God's permission to enter the Holy of Holies? Were they being arrogant and thought that they were the better priests? Or even some say maybe they were in some ecstatic state from everything going on, and they actually wanted to be burnt up in order to be with God, just like a moth flying into a flame. My focus, however, is not on them. It's on Aaron, their father, because it says in the text, Vayidom Aharon, and Aaron kept silent. The keeping silent part's the same root is in that still small voice, kol demama deka. To be in such shock, to learn about the death of both of his sons, Aaron was silent. Was he dumbfounded? Overwhelmed? Too shocked to speak? I think the Midrash is actually uncomfortable with this and has difficulty with the written Torah, because the Midrash tells us that Aaron was very agitated and cried out, "Woe is me! Is it because of my sin that they died? Why did such a catastrophe happen on my day of joy?" I remembered 9/11. I was getting ready to go to a morning minyan. I stood dumbfounded as the second plane flew into the tower. I remember when my father died. It was literally just as Rosh Hashanah services were getting ready to start, and I had my phone next to me intentionally, and it rang. And I looked at a rabbinic student in the congregation and asked them to begin services. And I walked out in utter silence and walked around and remained silent until I knew what to say or do. Many of you know exactly what I'm talking about, that moment of utter silence where you don't know what to say. In our traditional mourning practices, recognize the role of silence at this time. We're instructed when we enter a Beit Avel, the house of mourning, the house of Shiva, not to speak until the mourner chooses to speak, if they do at all. Overwhelming loss creates an abyss of deafening silence for the mourner, and it is we who are uncomfortable with it. Silence doesn't only appear in moments of tragedy. This is the ineffable that Heschel talks about. When we encounter that thing that overwhelms us so much we don't know what to say, we are unable to speak about it, and we sit in silence. Silence can also be weaponized. Do I even need to give an example what the big book calls silent scorn? When someone is so angry at us that we almost cease to exist in another person's world, and we pray that they would yell at us just one curse word, because it would be less painful. And silence is an essential ingredient for us in recovery and difficult to learn. My sponsor started by keeping me in that space when I got into recovery and kept it simple for me. And he said, of course, sit down and shut up. And I did it. And I fought it. And he told me again. And I learned to listen. Learning to listen. We have to stop talking in order to learn to listen. You can't do both at the same time, even though we lie to ourselves and say we can. And then, of course, are the voices in our heads talking to us, and these are the ones that take time to silence. So we learn to acknowledge them. We learn to honor them and let them get more quiet, because underneath it all, there still is a kol demama daka, a still small voice that exists underneath the noise, underneath that din that is outside of us and that noise that's inside of us. Practicing silence is an important practice. Eckhart Tolle says, when you become aware of silence, immediately there is that state of inner, still alertness. You are present. You have stepped out of 1,000 years of collective human conditioning. He goes on and says, look at a tree, a flower, a plant. Let your awareness rest upon it. How still they are, how deeply rooted in being. Allow nature to teach you stillness. And when you look at a tree and perceive its stillness, you become still yourself. Any disturbing noise can be as helpful as silence. How? By dropping your inner resistance to the noise, by allowing it to be as it is. This acceptance also takes you into that realm of inner peace that is stillness. Whenever you deeply accept this moment as it is, no matter what form it takes, you are still. You are at peace. May we all find a little of the stillness and peace this Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom. Please stand and join the cantor and the Baruch Hu.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
So I'm blessed to go around the country and meet people. About 2 years ago, I was at Machon Hadar for a rabbinic intensive, or is that what it's called? Yeshiva intensive. And I met this young man from Northwestern Hillel. and his name is Rabbi Brandon Bernstein, and he's going to come and just give his, he's here in town, and he called me, and he's going to give us a little thought, kavanah, on the Shema.
Yeah, a little vort. Mark, I wish you would just let me know how you needed to bring a little bit more life to your services here. It's, I would have prepped myself more. So, I don't know if any of you take improv classes. I like to do improv. All right, yeah, we've got some corner over here that does. Great. I once had an improv teacher who taught us that contained within every idea is its own opposite. Right, and he was teaching this in the specific context. Someone had some scene where someone was an automobile repair mechanic, and someone had come and asked, can you put an extra pair of back seats in the car? And the person's decision in that scene was to say, nope, it's the one and only thing we don't do. And so the instructor was trying to say, in order to be more in agreement, in order to sort of take an idea and run with it, take that idea and flip it. Rather than saying that's the only thing we don't do, of course we can put back seats in. That's the only thing we do. We make cars with 20 different back seats, no front seats, only back seats. So there's this idea, every idea contains an opposite within it. Large already contains the idea of small within it. Selfishness already contains within it the idea of selflessness. Opposites contained within. Which means that these ideas, these polar opposites, are not actually in opposition, but rather they're sort of one. They are the same thing. This insight is the same insight that our ancestors had thousands and thousands of years ago. In an ancient world, there was day and night, and there was what seemed hot and cold, all these sort of opposing forces. And so the natural conclusion was, well, there must be rival gods that are opposing each other. And along comes Judaism with this insight that really we don't think of enough as being revolutionary, that says, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. Those opposites are one. Eloheinu itself comes from the word Elohim, which we often say for God. It's plural. Elohim doesn't mean God, it means gods. Adonai Eloheinu actually technically means Adonai is our gods. Shema Yisrael, hear, O Israel, Adonai is our gods. Our gods are one. They seem divided, but actually it's all one. So I just want us to look for a quick moment at the Shema line again and reread it and pay attention to another one of those words. Shema Yisrael, hear, O Israel, hear you who struggle with God, you who wrestle with God. You who struggle with whatever inner causes you have, you who struggle with urges that bring you in different directions. Hear you who are struggling with whatever your inner work is. I know it seems like these are opposing matters, but there's a oneness underlying it. When we do our inner spiritual work, when we do a moral inventory, like in the fourth step, when we can go inside and sort of do that tshuva, and make that inventory and find our character flaws and our character defects, we realize that underlying those defects, there's actually a pure urge. The opposite is contained within it. We might struggle with anger, and there might be a calm lying underneath it. We struggle with selfishness, and there's an instinct for selflessness within it. We struggle with desire and love and loneliness, and really there's a desire for connection underneath it. Every idea contains within it its own opposites. So when we recite the Shema, yes, this is the watchword of Jewish faith. Yes, this is the idea that God is one. That's the spiritual insight. But it's a reminder of the spiritual work that we all have to do, which is to figure out how it is that all of those negative character flaws and defects can be turned inside out and instead bring us to connect with each other in a more holy and pure way.
All right, please cover your eyes and bring that oneness in as we chant the Shema.
Adonai
Shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Ya'aseh shalom. Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Shalom bimromav. Shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
From the bondage of being my own slave, the sorrow, the anguish, and mainly all the pain. Freedom from myself is something I attain. By understanding choices was something I could change. So I chose to live than rather die in vain. It was never win or lose, cause it never was a game. On the daily I'm reminded of the beauty in his name. So I'm in pure awe when I look up to the sky, cause I can feel the presence and the love of Adonai. I know I walk alone because so is you and I. Taught to embrace my darkness, without it there's no light. They coexist together, they no longer have to fight. We are here together, so tonight let's all unite with the love that's in this room. We just have to be alright. He who makes wholeness in the heavens and the heights, can he also grant wholeness to every one of us tonight? Hey! Hey!
Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
Okay, I ask all those who are in mourning to please rise. If you're saying Kaddish for a yard site, please rise. As a community, we say Kaddish for the yard site of Hannah Wilson, Mark Troop, Juanita Schaefer, Gladys Hoskins, Howard Wallach, Jack Rosenthal, Bella Lorenz, Alexei Gutman, Justin Dunn, Libby Siegel, Millicent Wexler, Artie Yalowitz, David Roth, Billy Grossman, Rachel Stein, Sandy Nimoy. The year of mourning for Meredith Baskin, Patricia Beckerman, Todd Bird, Richard Block, Mildred Borovitz, Lillian Bort, Tricia Dintzer, Steve Katz, Jody Labov, Kobe Yaakov Levy, Rachel Machbitz, Chuck Maltz, Isaiah Negretti, Ed Praver, Dee Dee Quinn, Gene Redstone, Michael Roth, Tyler Shamash, Erwin Shapiro, Michael Shapsis, Phyllis Tell, Lester Trackman, Alice Weiss, Muriel Werner, Donna Zivic. V'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael. Ba'agala uv'izman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabba mevarach le'olam alomei maya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei dekudsha b'rechu. Le'ela minkol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Damiran v'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shmama rabba mitzmaya. V'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Osei shalom b'mromav. Hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who makes welcoming in the heavens send comfort to all who mourn. Amen. Okay, Nathan. Birthdays. Birthdays. Come on up. Birthdays.
All right. Congratulations. You're welcome. Well done. Well done.
Allison. We always wait for you. Some things never change, right?
Oh my.
Okay, go in the middle.
All right,
Go
here
ahead.
we go. Gather around. Gather around. Don't be shy. We're going to start right here. 1, 2, 3.
O Lord my God, I cried unto you, and you did heal me. O Lord, you saved me from the peril and kept me alive.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hagomel lechayavim tovot shigamalani kol tov. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who bestows good beyond our deserving, and who has dealt graciously with me. Mi shigamalchem kol tov, hu yigmalchem kol tov. Selah. May the one who has caused you good always bestow goodness upon you. Amen. Amen. Congratulations.
Okay, line up. Eli, who do you want to give you your cake? Okay. What? Okay. Chad? Jackson, come on. Leah? Parents and sponsor, come on. Dominic? Okay. Let's see. Chad, why don't you go first? All right.
Chad Alcoholic.
Hey, Chad.
Also a grateful member of this community. It was said before that people give gratitude to Harriet and Rabbi during the shares, and I'm definitely going to give gratitude. Thank you, Rabbi. Thank you, Harriet. I also want to thank the donors, the staff, and basically everybody that was here, including my fellow birthday people and people coming into the house. Welcome. Very simply, I was on the streets. I had nowhere to go, and I reached out to Beit Shuva one more time, and I begged them to take me back, and they did. I was definitely not a model resident by any means, but they loved me anyways. They loved me enough to tell me I needed to leave, and it was the best thing that happened for me. So I really do thank you, because my humility was, there was zero humility. And until I became homeless sober, I realized that I had a great opportunity here and I squandered it. And then I found the rooms of AA, and actually I found the rooms of AA because of Beit Shuva. I found a sponsor and I started doing the steps. And I got serious. I got into a group of guys in a men's stag, and I became responsible. I became teachable. And it was because of having the experience that I had here that I was able to get there. But most importantly, for everybody who's lost somebody, my heart goes out to you. And tonight was the first night that I've cried after after losing my father last year. And before I got into Beit Shuva, I swore I would never talk to that person ever again. And I was pissed, and it was all his fault, and they wouldn't help me, and he wouldn't help me. And the fact is, if I didn't come back to Beit Shuva and I didn't find recovery in the 12 steps, and to go through my 4-step, my moral inventory, and see my part in what I did, I wouldn't have had a chance to make my amends before he passed. I'm very grateful for that opportunity, and I'm very grateful for the people who showed up for me. Thank you. I love you guys. And I'm glad to take my cake here. Thank you.
My name is Allison, and I am a truly grateful member of this community. And I apologize for having my phone up here, but I have bullet points so that I can kind of remember what I was going to say. And be short, I know.
No. You don't have to stand on your tiptoes. We'll bring the microphone down to you.
Thank you. So when I first got here, I had no idea what the word community meant. And after leaving here is what truly, how I felt that meaning of the word community. Being here, coming down in the morning, getting my coffee, and everybody saying good morning, and all I could do was growl, which half of you know that is the God's honest truth. When I left here, I missed people saying good morning to me and making my coffee by myself. I missed walking down being scared of Rabbi Mark. And I do truly, I know it's cliche, I have to thank Rabbi Mark and Harriet. They gave me a place to stay. They gave me a place to learn. They gave me a place to remind myself what sobriety means and what sobriety is like, you know, getting my family back, having you guys in my life. I also want to say congratulations on the marathon. You guys rocked. I apologize I couldn't be here, but some of you also know outdoor activities are not my forte, unless I want to be tomato baby, baby mater, you know, the whole red face thing. I also want to thank my treatment team, Nanette, and my spiritualist, Deborah, and my therapist, Marcia, and I mean, Rabbi Mikhael was always there for me. I just honestly cannot even believe the difference being in this place and having that sense of community and having that sense of togetherness and holding on like they tell us to do. I didn't believe that shit for a minute. But I did it, and look where I am here. Like, I'm standing before you today, a year sober. I came in here with 2 court cases. They were 2 DUIs I proceeded to get within a 24-hour period. I found out on last Thursday one of them has been dropped, and I will find out about the other one next week, but I couldn't have done that without this place. What was that? Oh. Okay, I know you're all hungry, so anyway, thank you very much, and thank you for my sobriety.
I'm going completely out of order.
All right. My name's Eli. I'm a grateful member of this community. I'm going to keep it short. I made some bullet points too. And firstly, I want to thank Rabbi and Harriet for just everything they've done for me and for everybody here. Beit Shuva is an amazing place. You know, I'm a chronic relapser and could never get it right. It's been a really hard road for me, but you know, today I have my life back. If it wasn't for Beit Shuva, this wouldn't be a reality for me. I wouldn't be here right now. I don't know where I'd be. I've heard Rabbi say this before, something along the lines of, you know, I've made some like kind of mistakes in the past 2 years, but one thing that I've done perfect is I haven't had a drink or a drug. Man, this 2 years went by so quickly, like so fast. And, you know, I've met so many people here. When I first got here, I didn't think that I would like have friends. But people that I've met here become like best friends. It's crazy. You know, I live with 2 people that I went through the house with here, and you know, I think it's the best decision that I've made, leaving Beit Shuva. I would highly recommend getting close with people here, and not living alone, because I've done that before, and it's very dark. Beit Shuva is giving me the opportunity to still see a therapist while I'm here, or while I've left, and it's been a huge part of my program because, you know, not everybody does the steps, not everybody works the steps, not everybody has a sponsor. You know, I'm so busy and I make excuses and I justify that, you know, I don't have the time to do it. But having a therapist while I've been gone has been a huge help. She's really helped me just really helped me open up and like see things that I couldn't see before. So I just want to give a shout out to her, Andrea, and you know, I've gained my family's love back and trust. You know, I can be present today, and you know, today I live life on life's terms without any drugs or alcohol. This place has saved my life. I'm forever grateful for Beit Shuva, and this place will always be home for me. Thank you.
Hi guys, I'm Leah, and I'm an alcoholic and a super grateful member of this community. This is so crazy. I never thought I could get a year sober. Here I am. All right. I made more than bullet points. I like wrote everything down because I get really nervous talking in front of people. All right, so when I first got to Beit Shuva, I didn't like rules, I didn't like authority figures, and I made it very apparent to the staff, especially Brittany. I'm sorry for that. But so that it makes it pretty ironic that I ended up getting an internship as a PF, and I really, really love it. And I get to work with some pretty amazing people, and I'm really grateful for all of you. I want to thank Harriet and Rabbi for making this place what it is today. And I got lucky enough to have Rabbi Mark as my spiritual. I want to thank you for everything. I want to thank my counselors, Earl and Tara. I want to thank my therapist, Casey. You're definitely the best therapist I've ever had, and I've had quite a few. I want to thank my sponsor, Gabby. You're absolutely amazing. I appreciate you always just being straight up honest with me, telling me like it is, and being hard on me. You've taught me so much, and I'm so grateful that you're in my life. My parents, Mom and Dad, I'm so grateful that you guys could make it out here and that you're a part of this journey with me, and you're so supportive. You guys never gave up on me, even when I gave up on myself, and I love you guys so much. I've made really, really great friends since being here, and you guys always support me, even if you're telling me what I'm doing is wrong. I really love you guys. And so what I think the difference between this time and other times of me trying to get sober is like this time I was just really willing and like to do whatever was suggested of me because my way just really obviously wasn't working anymore. So if you're new, I'd say just like stay grateful, stay desperate, stay teachable, and get a sponsor and work the steps and just do like what's suggested of you here. Yeah, so sobriety like really isn't always easy, but it's totally worth it. Thank you.
I'm Dominic. I'm a grateful member of this community, an addict in recovery. I would love to sit up here and just talk about all my successes year after year. The truth is every time I take a cake now, I think about my relapse that I had. I first got sober in 2008, and I had a relapse. And the big thing that came from that was when I got sober again, it was like, oh, I'm smarter now because of it, because of this experience. And the truth is that when you relapse, you just fuck more shit up. That's it. There's nothing else. You are not smarter. You are not better off for it. You just cause more destruction. I am not here because I am smart. I am literally standing here right now because for some reason this universe, God, has allowed me to be here. And places like Beit Tshuva exist that allow me to grow. See, I have lied, I've cheated, and I've stolen, and I've done that in sobriety. Because when I removed the drugs and the alcohol, nothing actually changed. And the part of me that was the fucked up part was this idea that I had to be something or be this person and try to please and manipulate and just kind of lie and weave because I'm constantly measuring myself by everything and anything that didn't fucking matter whatsoever. What happened was I actually stayed sober long enough this time to start to build actual character and to build it through amends, through extreme accountability, taking inventory constantly, and working hard at just being a part of. And I had this epiphany even last night when I told my girlfriend that it wasn't, of almost 5 years, that it wasn't a big deal if she came tonight. And I'm still learning that I compartmentalize and I'm separating and I still hold a level of shame that doesn't fucking matter at all. And what matters is this connection. And all I think about is this community and I think about a community that I'm building, and I still struggle with hiding, and fuck, I just got fucking, wow. I'll take it only because I have to go to the bathroom, not because I heard that. I love you guys so much. I am so grateful for you guys. Don't even fucking think about relapsing. I swear to God, it is not worth it in any way, shape, or form. Thank you.
So, for those of you who want to learn how to box and get into shape, you can go to Mad City, right? Isn't that the name of it? Is that the name? So Dominic's one of those guys that actually has kept up. Every so often he calls me up, he says, I need a tune-up. And I'm so excited because you dreamed it. You saw it, you had the passion, and you put it together. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. And we have to remember that there are those who are still ill. Ill in body, ill in mind, and ill in spirit. So we say, do we need to say Misha Berach for the mandolin too? So we say Misha Berach for those people. Misha Berach Avotenu v'Imatenu Hu Yivarech v'Rapeh et HaCholim. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal. Please put out the names. Kodosh Baruch Hu, send them a complete healing, healing of the body and a healing of the soul, and let it happen right now. And let's say, amen. Okay, you can join in the Misha Berach.
Misha Berach Avotenu Avraham Yitzhak veYaakov Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, Leah, Hu Yivarech v'Yirapeh et HaCholim. El Narefan alav, El Narefan alav, El Narefan alav, El Narefan alav. Misha Berach Avotenu Avraham Yitzhak veYaakov Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, Leah, Hu Yivarech v'Yirapeh et HaCholim.
Announcements, Pastor Challahs. So we want to thank tonight's Shabbos sponsors, Leah's parents, Howard Rahm, Rabbi Laura Owens, and Jack Bender. And we need two more sponsors. We don't need two more sponsors? I thought we needed two more. Thank you. Barbara, thank you. One more. Back there, thank you. Who is it? I don't see. Reuben. All right, Reuben, thank you. Okay. Covered the nut, you know what I mean? All right, Passover's coming. We have 3 nights. 3 nights of Passover. April 19th is the first night of first Seder. I'm going to be leading the Seder. April 20th is the second night. Rabbi Carey Chaplin is going to be leading the Seder. We'll see who gets more, you know what I mean? And then April 21st is our Freedom Song Seder, where we have our amazing original play directed by Michael Kaminer. Laura Bagish on the piano. And we want to wish them a Nasiya Tova. When do you leave? Tuesday, and then Saturday they're going to go all over this country taking Freedom Song to people who need to figure out what they're a slave to. So great. Please contact Nicole or Sophia if you want to come to any of the Seders. May 18th. I know it's a little bit away. May 18th, 7 to 10 p.m., it's going to be epic. We're going to get ready to rock for life. It's going to be a unique musical experience benefiting Beit Shuvah. We got people coming from we have somebody coming from Scandinavia just to play. Eric Bazillion, I mean, right? And then we got, no, it's not Emma. No, the truth is they called, but we didn't have room for them. Right? So it's going to be a great evening. You can contact Nicole for tickets and sponsorship. Our adult education continues this Tuesday at 7 p.m. in the boardroom. This week it's going to be Learning Torah from Sinners with rabbinical student Myra Meskin. Bereavement process group is going to be April 3rd for parents that have lost a child to addiction. And most of all, we want to wish you a great Shabbos. So we're going to do Oziv Azim Rasya very quickly.
Starting with the low part here.
Going up.
Ozi vezim radia vayahili lishua. Ozi vezim radia Yeshua, bring it up. Ozi vezim radia vayahili Yeshua. Ozi vezim radia vayahili.
Okay, if everyone would please rise for the short Kiddush. Short Kiddush. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Amen. Okay, now grab a piece of the challah, a piece of somebody who's got a piece of the challah, but
watch where you grab that piece. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
all right, let's give it up for all the birthdays one more time. Yeah. Residents, please set the room up. Thank you.